I'm not surprised, cause it honestly feels like I've known you for all of my...
Hi, I'm Helgi. So in this video, we are going to make 3 types of bookmarks. So you can choose which one you want to make and skip to that part. So first, we are going to make the bow bookmark. So we are going to make a slip knot first. So to do a slip knot, you are going to hold the end of your yarn like this. And then you're going to make a loop like this. And then twist your yarn. And you will have this X shape in the middle. Then just put your working yarn right here on top, and then from the back just pull this yarn. So this is how you're going to make your slip knot. Now take your crochet hook and insert it through your slip knot and pull both ends to tighten it up. So make sure that your end is at the back and your working yarn is at the front like this. So pay attention to how I am holding the end and also my working yarn. So this is how I usually hold it. So you can hold it however you feel comfortable with. Now we're going to chain 6. So to chain 6, all you need to do is just yarn over and pull through. So this is going to be your first chain. So do this until you have 6 chains. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we are going to start in the second chain. So this is your first chain and this is your second chain. So go ahead and insert your hook into your second chain like this, only through the top loop, and then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So this is going to be your first single crochet. Now continue in the second stitch, which is right here. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Your second single crochet. So go ahead and do this until the end right here. So this is my third single crochet. And then in the next stitch, and in the next and your last stitch. So this is how round 1 is going to look like. Now moving on to round 2. So yarn over and pull through to chain 1. Now after you chain 1, you are going to turn your work. So the chain 1 is not your stitch, it is just going to act as a turning chain. Basically, it is just so that it's easier for you to insert the single crochet into the first stitch. Now in your first stitch right here, this is your chain 1, so we are going to ignore this. In the first stitch, insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. And then continue making 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end right here. So basically you will have a total of 5 single crochets. So 2 single crochet, 3, 4, and 5. So basically this is your second round, and all you need to do is just do this step until round 35. Now I have done until round 34, so I'm going to show you how to count your rounds or rows just so that you know whether you have reached round 34. Now before you count the rows, make sure that the end is at your right side like this. As you can see here, we have this horizontal line or dotted lines right here, and then above it we have this den right here. So this is going to be your first row, which is the dotted lines, and this den right here is going to be your second row, and then again a dotted lines, your third row, and then the den, your fourth row. So that's basically it. It is an alternative between your dotted lines and a den. Now we are going to fasten off. So to fasten off, just chain 1 and take your scissors and cut. Then pull through, pull the end to tighten up the chain 1, Now we're going to move on and make the ruffles. So to start making the ruffle, go ahead and get your second color ready. Now we are going to start in the second row right here. So go ahead and insert your hook. Now with your new yarn, you are going to make a loop like this, and then just put it on top of your crochet hook. So you will need to hold the end at the back so that you have control over this yarn. Now you're going to pull through and you are going to chain one. So make sure that when you are chaining one, you are not chaining over the top. Instead, you're going to be chaining at the side right here. So chain one. Now we are going to insert 5 half double crochet into the top stitch right here. So you are still going to hold the end at the back so you have control over this yarn. Now to make a half double crochet, yarn over and insert your hook into the top stitch right here. Now you will have to carry the ends so that your work won't unravel as you make the ruffles. So to carry the end, all you need to do is just place the end on top of your crochet hook like this, and then just continue making this step as usual. So go ahead and yarn over and pull up a loop, and then you will have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Then just yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to make a half double crochet. So this is going to be your first half double crochet. Now go ahead and insert 4 more into the same stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we are going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then just pull through. Now in the next stitch right here, we are going to make 5 half double crochet again. So yarn over and insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So 1 half double crochet, so that is your first half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Your second half double crochet. So just continue until you have a total of 5 half double crochet. Then we are going to make a slip stitch again into the next stitch. Then in the next stitch right here, we are going to make 5 half double crochet again. So go ahead and insert. So go ahead and insert 5 half double crochet. 2, 3, 4, and 5. When the end that you carried is about this much, you can stop crocheting over it and let it be at the back of your work. Later on, you can just cut it. Now for this end right here, I am going to carry it until I think I have carried it enough. Now in your second row right here, you are going to insert a slip stitch. Now we are going to continue making the ruffles in each rows. So to know which rows you're going to be inserting your hook into, all you need to do is just use the then and the dotted lines as your reference. So whenever there is a dotted line or dotted line, you will have to insert your hook into it. Now first, we are going to skip the next stitch right here. Then we are going to make 5 half double crochet into the next stitch. So skip and insert your hook into the next stitch right here, and we are going to make 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to skip the next stitch again and insert your hook into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. So this is what you're going to do for 8 times. So basically you're going to do this until right here. So I have my last ruffle right here, so I'm going to show you where to make this slip stitch. So you're going to skip the next stitch right here, and you're going to make this slip stitch right here before you reach the top stitches. So insert your hook and then just make a slip stitch. Now in the next stitch right here, we are going to insert 5 half double crochet. So you have a total of 5 stitch right here. So make sure that you don't skip any stitch or add any stitch right here. Now in the first stitch at the top, make 5 half double crochet. One, two, three, 4, and 5. In the next stitch, make a slip stitch. So go ahead and insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then just pull through. So you're going to repeat this for 2 more times. So make 5 half double crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then a slip stitch in the next stitch. Then repeat it for 1 more time. Now for this side is the same step as the other side, and I'm going to work over the end so I don't have to weave it in. Now skip the next stitch, then in the next insert 5 half double crochets in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then skip the next stitch and make a slip stitch in the next stitch. Now go ahead and repeat this for 7 more times. Now I am doing my last ruffle. So I'm going to skip this stitch and insert 5 half double crochets into the next stitch right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now all you need to do is just make a slip stitch into the part where we chain 1 earlier. So right here, just insert your hook and make a slip stitch. Now just take your scissors and cut your yarn. Then pull through. Now you are going to take your darning needle and thread in your yarn. So you are going to go through this stitch where you just insert a slip stitch. So go through it and bring your yarn to the back like this. Now turn your work, and all you need to do is just weave in this excess yarn. So to weave it in, just go through the back stitches like this. Make sure that your needle is not showing at the front. So just go through it like this and pull through. Then you're going to skip this stitch right here. So skip this and insert it right here. And again, pull through. So I'm just going to pull all of it like this. Now, take your scissors and cut your yarn. And also cut the yarn that you have carried. Now you are done. So now let's move on to the bow. Now all you need to do is just make a bow like this, or you can also use a ribbon for this. So I'm going to show you how to make the bow. So first go ahead and make your slip knot. So go ahead and make a loop like this and then turn it around. Then put your working yarn on top, and from the back just pull it. Now insert your crochet hook. Now you are going to chain how long you want your bow to be. I'm just going to chain until I like how long it is. So just go ahead and chain. So I'm just going to test it out whether I like the length of my bow. So I like this length, so I think this part is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to pull the chain until it's the same length as this side. Now once both sides are the same length, all you need to do is just cut your yarn and use your crochet hook and pull through. Then just pull the end to tighten up this part. Now just cut both ends like this and glue it at the top of your bookmark like this. So it will look something like this. And you are done. So first we are going to do the leaf and chains for the bookmark. So just go ahead and make a loop like this and then twist your yarn and you will have this X shape in the middle. Now put your yarn on top and from the back just pull it. So that is how you're going to do a slip knot. Now just insert your hook into it and tighten it up. Now we are going to do the leaf. So first we are going to chain 6. So yarn over and pull through. So that is going to be your first chain. Now just yarn over again and pull through. That is going to be your second chain. So go ahead and do this until you have a total of 6 chains. Now we are going to start in the second chain. This is your first chain and this is your second chain. So in the second chain, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So that is going to be your 1 single crochet. Then we're going to make a half double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that is your half double crochets. Now we're going to do a 1 double crochet into the next stitch right here. So yarn over and insert your hook into this stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Then just yarn over and pull through 2 loops, 1 and 2, and you will be left with 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops again, and that is your 1 double crochet. Then continue making 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over and insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, which is your last stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now you are going to chain 1, so yarn over and pull through. Now we are going to work on the other side. So to work on the other side, you can just follow each stitch. That is where you will insert your stitches. So basically the place where you insert your stitches is also where you are going to insert your stitches on the other side. So in the first stitch right here, where we just insert the 1 single crochet, insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. And then in the next stitch right here, where we insert 1 half double crochet, we are also going to insert 1 half double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull all 3 loops. Then in the next stitch, you are going to make 1 double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch right here, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and 1 single crochet into the last stitch. So your last stitch is going to be right here, as you can see. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then in the first stitch right here where we have this V shape, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through. So that is going to be your slip stitch. Now you're going to chain how long you want your bookmark to be. So yarn over and pull through. So this is what you're going to do. So this is how long I train mine. So I recommend that you compare it with your books and see whether you like the length. And also I would suggest that you leave some chains here just so that you can insert this strawberry later on like this. And I will leave some yarn like this just so that I have some extra yarn if I wanted to add more chains later on. So I'm going to cut my yarn. And you are not going to fasten this off, you're just going to leave it like this while you work on the strawberry or the sakura. We are going to make a magic ring. Now first you're going to hold the end of your yarn and wrap the yarn, and you will have an X shape in the middle of your finger. Then just turn your finger to the front and hold the yarn like this. Now take your crochet hook. This is your first loop and this is your second loop. So go under the first loop and grab onto your second loop and twist it up. Now we are going to release this while still keeping its shape. So you are going to grab onto the yarn like this. Okay. And then hold the yarn at the back like this. Then you are going to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through. And that is going to be your magic ring. Now we are going to insert 5 single crochets into our magic ring. So go ahead and insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So this is going to be your first single crochets. Now take your stitch marker, or you can also use a bobby pin if you don't have it. Then just insert it into the first stitch. So this is really important just so that you know when each round starts and ends. Now go ahead and continue inserting your single crochet until you have a total of 5 single crochet. Now you're going to pull the end of your magic ring to close off the hole. Make sure that you don't pull too tight and leave a little bit of space at the middle here so that you can insert the leaf later on. Now remove your stitch marker, and in the first stitch where you just remove your stitch marker, insert your crochet hook, and you are going to carry the ends. So to carry it, just place the end on top of your crochet hook, then make the single crochets like normal. So we are going to insert an increase into the first stitch. So an increase means you are going to insert 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So go ahead and make 1 single crochet first, and then mark the first stitch with a stitch marker, and then insert 1 more single crochet to complete the increase. So this is going to be your first increase. Now in the next stitch right here, you have this V shape, so that is where your next stitch is. So insert your hook and make an increase again. So 1 and 2. Then in the third stitch, make an increase. So yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and again. Then in the next stitch right here, insert your hook and make an increase. And in your last stitch right here, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and again, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Now remove your stitch marker, and we're going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch. So insert your hook into the first stitch and make 1 single crochet, and mark the first stitch with a stitch marker. Then in the next stitch right here, insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. Again in the next stitch, and make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. So the total of single crochets that you are going to make is 10 single crochets, just in case you need to count it and make sure that it's right. So I have 2 stitches left, one right here and one in the last stitch. Now I'm going to flip my work inside out and make sure the right side is on the outside like this. Now we're going to continue this step for round 4 and 5. It is going to be the same step. So remove your stitch marker and insert 1 single crochet into the first stitch and mark the first stitch again. Then just continue inserting 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of this round. And again, you are going to repeat this for round 4 and round 5. Now, once you are done with round 5, now we're going to insert the leaf through the middle of your strawberry. So go ahead and thread in your yarn like this. Go ahead and insert your needle through the middle of the magic loop that will leave some space earlier in the round. So go ahead and insert your needle and insert the leaf or the bookmark. Now the strawberry is going to look funny, so just adjust it and it's going to look somewhat like this. Now take your book and compare it with your book and see whether the strawberry is going to be at the top of your book. If it's not like mine here, you're just going to pull it and make sure it is going to be at the top. And as you can see, now it's at the top of my book. So now I'm going to just flip it like this and then just pull my chains and leave just a little space like this. And you're going to take your crochet hook and pull through. And then pull the end to tighten up the chain 1. Now you will have this end right here, and all you need to do is just tie a knot with the end just to secure the leaf. Then just cut your yarn. Now flip the strawberry inside out again. Now this is going to be the right side. Now we are going to make 5 decrease. So go ahead and remove your stitch marker. And to make a decrease, you are going to insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then insert your hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull up a loop. Then you will have 3 loops on your crochet hook, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So this is going to be your first decrease. Then take your stitch marker and mark the first stitch. So continue making the decrease for 6 times. So this is going to be my second time. So 3, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now this is my last decrease. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now you have done all the decreases. Now all you need to do is just stuff the strawberry with a stuffing. So I have stuffed my strawberry and now we are going to fasten this off. So go ahead and take your scissors and cut your yarn. And I am also going to cut this end that I have carried before. Now just pull through and I'm going to remove my stitch marker. Now take your darning needle and thread in your yarn. Now we are going to close this hole up by inserting our needle through the front loop of each stitch. So just go through the middle of the V shape. So go through it like this and insert your needle and yarn. And you don't have to pull too tight. You can just make sure that you insert the yarn, and then in the next stitch you're going to do the same thing, and then in the next stitch insert it through the front loop only and pull through. In the next stitch and your last stitch right here. So basically you will do this for 5 times because we have a total of 5 single crochets left. Now all you need to do is just pull your yarn until there is no hole at the top. Now all you need to do is just weave in this excess yarn by going through the strawberry. So just go ahead and insert it right here, or just insert it anywhere you like, and then go through anywhere you like to, and then go through the same place, and then go through anywhere you like and pull through. I'm going to insert it right here and pull through. This is how I usually weave it in. Then all you need to do is just cut your yarn. Take whatever you have and just use it to poke in this excess yarn into the strawberry. Now I'm going to sew on these strawberry seeds by using a darning needle and a white yarn. For this, it is totally random. I just sew it in however I like. So I'm just going to go through right here and go through at the front. So you can totally do whatever you want with this and sew in the strawberry seeds like this. I'm just going to show you an example by showing you how I usually do it. And poke the excess yarn and hide it inside the strawberry. And once you are done, the strawberry looks a little weird, so you can just shape it with your hand and make it look good. Now I am going to show you how to make this strawberry leaf. So first you are going to do a slip knot. So go ahead and make a loop like this. Twist your yarn and make an X shape, and then put your yarn on top, and from the back just pull it. Now insert your hook. Now you are going to chain 3, so yarn over and pull through, and again do it for 2 more times. So I now have 3 chains with me. Now in the second stitch you are going to start making a slip stitch. So we are going to start in the second stitch. So this is your first stitch and this is your second stitch. Go ahead and insert your hook into the second stitch and make a slip stitch. So go ahead and yarn over and pull up a loop and then pull through. So this is your first slip stitch. Then in the last stitch make 1 more slip stitch. So you are done with the first leaf. Now you are going to chain 2. So 1 and 2, and then skip the first chain here and insert your hook into the second chain. So insert your hook and make 1 slip stitch. And make another slip stitch right here where you have the space right here, as you can see. So insert your hook and make 1 more slip stitch. So basically you have made 2 slip stitch here. So this is the pattern that you are going to repeat for 4 times, which is chain 2 and then make 2 slip stitch. So this is your first, so go ahead and make 3 more. So chain 2, insert your hook into the second stitch, into the second chain and make a slip stitch, and again make a slip stitch into this space here. Then chain 2, 1 and 2, start in the second chain and make 1 slip stitch, then make 1 slip stitch into this space. Once again, 1 and 2 chains, insert your hook into the second chain and make a slip stitch, and insert your hook into the middle of the hole right here and make a slip stitch. Now all you need to do is just cut your yarn and pull through. Then take your darning needle and thread in your yarn. So for this part, you are going to insert your yarn into the middle of the leaf right here and pull through. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to tie 2 to 3 knots for this, and I am going to glue on this leaf onto the strawberry like this. But if you decide to sew it onto the strawberry, go ahead and tie 2 to 3 knots and then use the excess yarn to sew it onto the strawberry. But I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to glue it on. So I'm going to tie 2 to 3 knots at the back. Then I'm just going to cut my yarn. Now all you need to do is just glue on the stem at the top of the strawberry like this, and you are done. And this is how the final results will look like. Now we are going to make the Sakura flowers. So first we are going to do a magic ring. So go ahead and hold the end of your yarn like this, and then twist the yarn like this, and you have this X shape in the middle of your fingers. Then turn your fingers to the front and hold your yarn like this. Now take your crochet hook, and this is going to be your first loop, and this is your second loop. So go under the first loop and then grab onto the second loop like this and twist it up. Then you are going to release this from your finger while still keeping its shape. So grab onto the yarn and release it from your finger. Now go ahead and hold your yarn and hold your loop like this. Now you are going to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through. Now this is going to be your magic ring. Now we are going to do a chain 3. However, we have done 1 chain here, so we just have to do 2 more. So yarn over and make 2 more chains, 1 and 2. So we have 3 chains here. Now we are going to insert 1 double crochet into our magic ring. So yarn over and insert your hook into your magic ring, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. So you have 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that is your double crochet. Now you are going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Then insert your hook into your magic ring and make a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull up a loop, and then just pull through. And that is going to be your slip stitch. Now I'm just going to push this chain 3 so that it's closer to this double crochet and chain 3 at the front. So all you need to do is just use your fingers and just push it like this. So go ahead and repeat this until you have a total of 5 petals. Now once you have 5 petals like this, you're going to pull up a loop like this and then remove your crochet hook. Now you're going to pull the end of your magic ring, but not until there is no space in the middle. So you're just going to pull your magic ring until these 2 petals are connected with each other. So just pull your magic ring and make sure there is enough space in the middle to insert your crochet hook later. Now for round 2, we are going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Then in the double crochet stitch, which is in the middle here, we are going to insert 1 single crochet, chain 2 and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. So insert your hook into the stitch, which is the 1 double crochet that we did. So insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So that is going to be your single crochet. Now you are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then insert your hook again into the same stitch and make 1 single crochet. Then you are going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Now you are going to do a slip stitch into this space here, but when you are doing this slip stitch, make sure that this slip stitch is not on top of the petals, but instead you're going to do this at the middle of the petal here. So go ahead and insert your hook and bring your yarn into the middle of the petal. Make sure that it is not on top of the petals, just at the center here, and then yarn over and pull up a loop, and then just pull through and make your slip stitch. So that is basically it. You're going to repeat this for each petals until the end right here. Now once you are done, all you need to do is just cut your yarn. So I'm going to cut my yarn and pull through. Now just take your crochet hook and bring the yarn at the center right here. Now both yarns are at the back. Now this is the end for my magic ring. So I'm going to pull this yarn until there is no hole at the middle here. So go ahead and pull your yarn. Now I am going to tie both yarn together to fasten it off. So I'm going to tie about 2 to 3 knots and I'm going to cut my yarn. Now we're going to sew the center part for the Sakura, and this is honestly up to you on how you want to sew it. So I'm going to basically show you how I start sewing this and just fast forward the video. So first I'm going to take my darning needle and then this yarn, and I'm going to insert it through the center part of the Sakura from the back right here. So then pull through, and I'm going to leave some ends so I can tie it off later to fasten it off. Then I'm going to go through at the part right here. As you can see, this is the double crochet that we did. I'm just going to insert it right here, as you can see, and pull through. And then again from the back, you're going to insert your needle through the center and pull through. Then I'm going to bring my yarn at the middle of the petals here like this. You can see, and then just insert it again at the center part here and pull through. And then I'm going to bring this yarn again at the middle here, and then from the back insert my needle again and pull through. So this is what I'm going to do for all petals. So it is going to be the same step until your petals look like this.
So could you hold me just for a little bit longer? Promise that I will be over you after tonight. And I'll say it's for the best. Say it over and over again, hoping someday finally.
Now once you are done, all you need to do is just weave in this excess yarn. I'm going to weave it in at the back here and just go through the back stitch and make sure that the yarn doesn't show through at the front. Then I'm going to tie these two ends together to fasten it off. Then take your scissors and cut your yarn. Now you are going to do this leaf part which I showed earlier in the video. This is the timestamp. So go ahead and do this before you move on to the next step. Now for this, I would suggest that you compare your chains to your books and make sure that the leaves stay at the bottom like this, and then there is going to be some space at the top where you are going to use and sew the Sakura on top like this. Now you're going to sew the leaf at the back of the Sakura, and all you need to do is just make sure that the yarn is going to be at the center here. So I'm going to insert my needle here, and the chains is going to be at the center part right here like this. Now I'm just going to sew it at the back like this, and there is honestly no right way to sew this. Just make sure that it's really secure. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut the excess yarn. To make sure that the yarn is secure and won't come off, all you need to do is just glue the knots here and also this part where you weave in. And now you are done for the Sakura bookmark. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye!
Known you for all of my life, even missing the pauses.